Welcome, guys. We're going to be doing more Harry Potter art book today. Let's see if we can get some more of this background in. Which of these reds is the red that we like? It might be this one. I don't think it is though. I think this one that looks kind of like orange is actually the red that we used. Everybody, welcome in. It is time for Harry Potter coloring. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom into our area here, I guess, and we're gonna work on this zone. It's part of the background, and then after that we can occlude basically everything out there. Oh, we should also do these bricks up on top. I guess we'll do that first. It is nice to be back to the Harry Potter coloring book. I will say that for sure. I definitely do enjoy doing these streams. Okay, so now let's get in maybe a green one. Good, and now maybe brown. Good. Okay, now we can kind of start on our wooden paneling back here. Oops. And then this, I guess, is also a piece of wood. We didn't really replicate that, or like this kind of design in our one on the left. That's all right. Maybe it's like a different type of panel or something. Who knows? I don't think anyone's really going to be looking at the background. Good. Get this part in. Okay. Now I'll get some shadows. We're just gonna do some basic shading. I mean, we don't have to be like super detailed about the background because it's not gonna be the focus of the scene anyway. Plus, we're gonna be occluding all over this stuff, so it's not even gonna be like that easy to see. All right. Oh. I don't think you can see the area I was working on. Okay. So we'll get a little bit of shadow down here. Get a little bit down here. Now, this whole upper area is done at least with what we're doing. So, okay, there's one, I want to do, hold on a second. I'm going to, grab this piece of paper so that we don't mess up the other characters. So I want to do some like more interesting lighting ideas. Like maybe just slash some kind of shadow over this curtain. Something like that. Just to make it a little bit more, I don't know, something's probably happening over there. And it's not going to look so out of place once we start doing this. Thank you to Tipsy Tune for the hosts. Okay, so we're starting to occlude them from the background more, which is good because I don't like when they kind of blend into the background. And it'll sort of make Colin Creevey look a little bit less standout-y because he's the only one who was occluded from the others, because he's the only one standing in front of somebody up to this point. Like he was the only one who had any occlusion around him. And the idea with this concept is like the way that the human eye works. Just because two tones that are similar looking are in front of each other, it doesn't actually mean that you should make those two tones exactly the same or like leave them the same way, just because that's the colors that they're supposed to be. Because a human eye will kind of like decide on what should be in the forefront, even if the two things are the exact same color and shade. It'll kind of like create distance it'll create depth between them even if they look like they're exactly the same. And that's what ambient occlusion is. So like basically we're using this kind of dark shadow thing. It's not meant to be a shadow, it's meant to be like a replication of the way that the human brain works. So it kind of like, you know, you can see that it's popping out the characters from the background. Like he stands out a lot more from the background than this Weasley twin. So it's kind of like a very particular to the way that I've been doing it. I probably, if I was doing another medium or something, I wouldn't occlude them this much, but I like the look of it for the kinds of pictures that we're doing here. Cool. And then after that, we can sort of create their shadows, which I don't know where their shadows are going to be, but we'll do that afterwards. Oops. Okay. We should probably be leaving it on the areas where it's already black. So like the hair doesn't need any of that because it already sticks out. Like that. Okay, good. And now that they're occluded, we can also start putting in like, again, I don't really know what these shadows are, but I'm going to do another one on this area. feel like this in general should be darker. We'll worry about that later. Okay, so now I'd like to get the bottom like where their feet is. Yeah. If we don't do it now, then we're gonna have to get our hands dirty later with it. So, and we're gonna probably smudge the picture. So we should do it now. I wonder what color this would be. Maybe this is also wood. Maybe it could be a different color of wood though, because we have a lot of wood. Azure Tundra, welcome in. If you get an exclamation mark high for Azure Tundra, joining the program. Welcome, Azure Tundra. What is your favorite thing you're looking forward to doing today? Okay, now I want to get this in here. Azure Tundra needs to do some grocery shopping. Nice. Get that food. So we made these into like some kind of okay. So we're getting this. This is going to be a lot less saturated once we finish with it. Azure Tundra had string cheese, turkey slices, and wrapped them in a romaine lettuce leaf. Ah, lettuce wrap, huh? I like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about though. With like, once you run out of food, I definitely I don't stock a lot of food in my house anyway. because I don't want to be like tempted to snack on stuff. So I keep like the one food that I'm going to be eating and almost nothing else. So yeah, once I like don't have the food I'm going to be eating, then it gets really crazy. So we're going to want to figure out where their shadows are going. And I don't know if the light source is something related to this, or if that's got to do with a light that's like, you know, up somewhere outside the scene. It's probably a really harsh shadow created by something right next to the light. So I don't think that's going to really affect how our shadows look in the regular part of the scene. Yeah, I eat a lot of lettuce wraps though. Like for a hamburger, if I order a hamburger, I usually get it wrapped in lettuce instead of a bun. So I certainly am down for the turkey string cheese lettuce wrap. So this wood's gonna be pretty like pristine. It's not like the bricks up above where they're like very irregular and kind of like wavy. There's not gonna be much going on with this wood. But this floor, I was kind of thinking that we would do it as like black squares, like it's like black marble or something. I just don't really want to use that much black. Yeah, I guess we will though. And I figure it's shiny, so I'm gonna try and just create like a little shining sort of concept on each of these. Which basically means you just don't color in like a little piece of it. All right, we're moving. This is going to be a bit of a process here. I mean, we could just color over the entire thing. That's not exactly my style. Yeah, I think this is kind of cool looking though. I don't know if it would even show up on camera, really. I think I have to point it. And then shadows are going to come into play after this. And it'll really create, you know, the scene. It'll make it into a proper scene, because obviously the characters are kind of floating right now. There's no shadows under them. As I'm trying to say, you think the stone back wall looks good in contrast to all the colors from the clothes. Thank you. Yeah, I was kind of concerned about the stone back wall, but that's a good point. Definitely good to have some contrasting hues. And obviously the white, lines between all the marbles, or the, marble tiles, would not be completely white, but that's going to be fixed once we make all the shadows for the characters. We're moving here. In this back area, they're not differentiating enough, like you wouldn't be able to see the white area, so we don't have to be that careful about like coloring within the squares, but we do want to still create the variation so that you see the glints coming off of the black tiles, because a black reflective tile like that would not just be black, obviously. There's going to be glints of light on it. And let's do a little preview of what these wooden blocks are going to look like, because it's obviously not going to look like this. Yeah. That's better. Oops. Yeah, a lot of these, like, the thing is that when you color something in with a colored pencil, it obviously looks really saturated because it's just a straight color. And the thing is that it looks really cool when, like, you know, like this is really bright, and I like the look of it, but obviously, like, compared to the whole picture, it would kind of take away from the main subjects. So what I always try to do is, like, intentionally muddy everything, make it less saturated or less bright or less colorful if it isn't the main subject. So, like, you know, so that the things that are more saturated would be like their clothes and their faces and stuff. Hey, welcome Gaming Hour to the stream. Can we get a exclamation mark high for Gaming Hour joining the show? So it's basically like, because I think the floor looks objectively more interesting when it's brighter. Like, I'm actually making it look less interesting, but also that's the point. So it kind of breaks my heart to have to ruin something that looked cooler before. But that's, you know, got to keep the objective in mind, right? The objective is not to make a cool looking floor. The objective is to make the floor support the foreground picture. Or rather, you know, the cool looking, we do want the floor to be cool looking, but this part more, and then this part would be more like kind of just a support thing. Okay, I'm saying it's storming over there. Stay safe. Stay dry. And then we can also do like a kind of like a shadow that's coming inwards. Okay, so now we want to kind of create like more of a shadow coming inwards. Oh, is that her hand? Okay, cool. We've sufficiently muddied the floor. And then as the floor gets closer, like we could probably make this part less muddy because it's more like in the front. Oh, you can't see this part though. And there's still one thing missing from the floor besides the parts that we haven't put in yet. And that thing is like real shadows from the characters. So obviously they're like, it still looks very fake because nobody's standing on the floor. They're all like floating in front of the floor because there's no shadows. But that's gonna change. As a Tundra saying, people were going crazy about the classic WoW. Yeah, that's a big event for a lot of people. I was never into WoW. I downloaded when Mr. T was advertising the free trial of WoW on TV constantly. I downloaded the free trial and I played it for like, I want to say I played it for like 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, I don't like this. Like immediately I was like, I see what you're doing. Like it's going to be a game where I have to like grind out a bunch of stuff. And if I want to do anything fun, I have to coordinate it with a bunch of people. It's like basically all the stuff that I don't want to do in a video game. So I gave up on WoW. But I understand a lot of the, appeal for it. A lot of people want to make a connection within a video game when they want to feel a sense of teamwork and stuff. And I get that, but that's just not the way I play video games. So yeah, I'm excited for everyone else to be getting into classic WoW. It's a pretty cool thing that they did. But I was never able to get into it personally. You know, saying I tried WoW, couldn't get into it, uninstalled it. Yeah, that's basically the same thing that happened to me, for sure. And I was like, wait, why am I not liking this? Because everybody likes this. Like, I'm supposed to like this? And I realized, like, oh, I guess they're just different kinds of video games for different people. As a Tony saying, people were talking about not sleeping, waiting on stream, waiting to jump into queue. Yeah, well, that's the big thing in MMOs and stuff is like when they launch, you just have to get into a queue of like thousands of people. And so you can't really play when you start up the app anyway because you got to wait to get in the servers. At least it's kind of like the equivalent of, when a multiplayer game goes up, like a, Call of Duty or something, and then it crashes on day one because the servers are overloaded. I think there needs to be some kind of more texture to these wooden panels or stone or whatever they are. They need to have some kind of texture on them. So I'll get to that in a little bit. I'm thinking they might be some kind of weird colored marble. We're definitely moving across. This floor is starting to get colored in for sure. Picture. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for today's Harry Potter coloring book. I think, like, looking at it from a farther away perspective, I'll probably darken these stones a little bit just so that it blends the background a little bit more. I'm going to darken this right now. I will probably darken this so that it somewhat blends a little more with the stones. And it's not with the stones, with the like obsidian bottom part. It's just because you don't want things to be so drastically jumping in, designs or whatever. But we'll have to see what it looks like when it's all together, so we won't do any of that yet. But yeah, I think we're in a good spot. As your time just saying, it looks so good, I can't wait to see the final product. This one's been taking a while. I think this has been, I don't know if it's the longest one, but it probably will be by the time it's done, because we have this section filled in, and this is taking us a long time, but we also have this whole other page, the whole other half of the page to do. So there's a lot of characters and a lot more background stuff. But the thing is that once we have this background established, then we're sort of just following the rules that we set up. You know what I mean? Like once we do this part, the other side, we're just copying the background from this side. So it'll be a lot easier to kind of like come up with all the concepts and everything. But ladies and gents, that's going to do it. I'll zoom in a little bit so we can all look at the picture a little bit more. But thank you everybody for joining. We're going to raid at the end of this. Let's get an ! Raid in that chat, if you please. And stick around if you want to be a part of the raid. We'll find somebody to join. Now, anybody who doesn't know the channel you're watching right now, it's called The Voice of Nick. I play video games live 3 times a day and 7 days a week. This one is, instead of a video game, it is a Harry Potter art book that we've been coloring for a while. So we have a few pages that we've gone through. This one is our current project of Dumbledore's army here. And if you want to see more, if you like Harry Potter art books, or if you like video games, or if you like Japanese language learning, then make sure you hit that follow button. There's plenty of stuff going on here. The 17th Danganronpa episode is out right now on the YouTube channel. 18th episode is coming out on, is today Tuesday? Yeah, it's coming out later today. I'm going to be on a plane when it comes out, but it will be premiering today. So make sure you're on the YouTube channel, !YouTube, or youtube.com/thevoiceofnick. You can find the Danganronpa episodes there. Those come out every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, so plenty of content if you want to find it. If you like the channel, you want to support the stuff that I do, then consider subscribing. Subscribers get a whole bunch of stuff on here, including the Voice of Nick emote, legendary status in the chat and Discord, 200 meatballs, higher chance to win in the heist minigames, and ad-free streams. Another great way to support the stream is to cheer. Cheers get a custom Voice of Nick voice as their shout out, depending on how much cheer goes in. And so the cheer leaderboards this week are completely blank. We have reset our week. So we are all new on our cheer week. Oh no, I have a Band-Aid that has now colored blue. I don't know if you can see that because it probably got dipped in the, it got like, you know, smudged on somebody's clothes or something in the picture. Oh no. Thank you to everybody who supports the channel, though. It's very highly appreciated. You're directly helping these shows to get better. Every single day, I improve at least one thing about this family of channels, whether it's the streams you see in front of you, creating content for the social channels, adding and updating things on the Wiki or Discord, making all the YouTube exclusive episodes, writing and recording all the Twitch playbook entries. All that, guys, is in large part thanks to all of you for supporting these streams by cheering, donating, subscribing, gifting subs, or gifting games. So thank you so much to everybody who does it. Now let's see if we can find a channel to raid. I'm going to look through our rateable channels list here. Let's see what we can find on the internet. We have a few people doing cool stuff right now. Let's go look through some of these. We got, okay, nice. Yeah. Thank you to Ezra Tundra and Game and Hour posting those raid messages in the chat. Get ready, ladies and gents. We are about to jump into a stream right in a couple of seconds once we can join these shows. Here we go. Let's go say hi to our friend Also a TV, who is live right now. It's usually kind of tough for us to catch an Also a stream because Also lives in Denmark, so his stream hours are a lot different than ours. So let's go enjoy that, and let's go say hi to Also, guys. Just a really incredible streamer, very, very positive, excellent community, really fun shows. So enjoy, guys. Also is playing Subnautica right now. And make sure you post that raid message in the chat when you get in there. Show that love. You can either copy the Meatball Marauders message that you see in the chat. Thank you once again to Azure Tundra and Gaming Hour for copying that and posting it in there. Or anybody who's on a device that can't copy paste, you can also just write in the alternate message that says Glorious Meatball Raid into Also his stream. So whichever one you choose, make sure you post that in there. And guys, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for joining the show. We have 3 more video game streams coming up later today and 1 secret stream if you can find it. But that's all going to happen once I arrive back in Los Angeles, California. So it'll be in a few hours. If you want some Voice of Nick content in the meantime, don't forget to check out the YouTube exclusive episode, which is posting in, I'm going to say a little bit more than 3 hours from now. Yeah, 3 hours from now. So keep an eye out for that. You'll be able to chat with the community as everyone watches it together. And guys, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.